Hey guys, so this is my explanation of how President Trump won the 2016 presidential election. Now, I will be using the Wikipedia article on the 2016 campaign, President Trump's 2016 campaign. I'll be reading from it and explaining along the way. Then at the end, I will play for you guys President Trump's victory speech. Now, I'll be playing the speech in full because his acquittal speech that he made was way too long to be put into one video, into my video, sorry. And so that's why I linked it in the description. However, this time I will be able, it's not that long, so I'll be able to show the entire victory speech. But, like I said, I'll be reading from the Wikipedia, and I will be also explaining along the way. So let's begin. Trump formally announced his candidacy on June 16, 2015, with a campaign rally and speech at Trump Tower in New York City. In his speech, Trump drew attention to domestic issues such as illegal immigration, offshoring of American jobs, the U.S. national debt, and Islamic terrorism. The campaign slogan was announced as "Make America Great Again." Trump declared that he would self-fund his presidential campaign and would refuse any money from donors and lobbyists. Ladbrokers offered 150/1 odds of Trump winning the presidency. The Hollywood Reporter reported that the next day, the casting company had offered $50 to actors to attend the Trump event, to wear t-shirts and carry slogans and help cheer him in support of his announcement. In support of the announcement, following the announcement, most of the media's attention focused on Trump's comment on illegal immigration. When Mexico said its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some I assume good people. Trump's statement was controversial, and several businesses and organizations, including NBC, Macy's, Universal, and NASCAR, to cut ties with Trump. Reactions from other presidential candidates were mixed, with some Republican candidates disagreeing with the tone of Trump's remarks, yet supporting the core idea that illegal immigration is an important campaign issue, while other Republican candidates, along with the leading Democratic candidates, condemning Trump's remarks and his policy stances as offensive or inflammatory. So to explain this part, basically, he announced his campaign in Trump Tower with a fantastic speech, I might add. And he talked about illegal immigration, and it's such an important issue because illegal immigration, if undocumented people come over, they can bring lots of things with them. They can bring, like President Trump said, drug, crime, rape, rapists, they can bring, and they steal jobs on top of everything else. So it's a very important issue. But that's kind of the start of the campaign. He announced he was going to run, and then off he went to the primaries. And so I'm going to skip through going to the most important parts in the timeline. And I'm drinking my Perrier water, strawberry and kiwi. So this is the section on the border wall. Okay? I'll explain more about the wall after I read this to you guys. In his announcement speech, Trump promised that he would build a great wall on the U.S.-Mexico southern border and emphasized that proposal throughout his campaign, further stating that the construction of the wall would be paid for by Mexico. Trump promised a border crackdown on illegal immigration, and in a July 6th statement, claimed that the Mexican government is forcing their most unwanted people into the United States. In many cases, criminals, drug dealers, rapists, etc. In his first town hall meeting in Derry, New Hampshire on August 19th, 2015, Trump stated, Day one of my presidency. They're getting out and getting out fast. Trump's Republican rival, Jeb Bush, stated that Trump is wrong on this, and to make these extraordinary statement, extraordinary kind of ugly comments, it's not reflective of the Republican Party. While Trump acknowledged that that Republican Committee Chairman Reince Priebus asked him to tone down his rhetoric on immigration reform, he stated that his fucking mouse is blocking it. That his conversations with the Republican National Committee on the matter were also congratulatory. At a July 2015 rally in Phoenix, Arizona, Trump was welcomed by the Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Apola, turning over the LinkedIn part of his speech to a supporter whose child was killed in Los Angeles in 2008 by a Mexican-born gang member. The brother of Kelly Sena, who was murdered in San Francisco by an illegal immigrant, criticized Trump for publicizing his sister's death, while a viral video related to her death, produced by a Trump supporter independent of the campaign, gave Trump an advantage during the primaries. And then that's all you need to know about the wall. Basically, the wall would keep out. And by the way, Mexico is actually paying for it. How? Well, they're paying for it through the USMCA, United States and Mexico Trade Agreement, which is made to replace NAFTA. It's an indirect payment, but it is a payment nonetheless. It's a completely indirect payment in which half of the funds will be from the United States government and the Pentagon, and will be supplemented by Mexico via the USMCA trade agreement. Now to the temporary Muslim ban proposal. You may have noticed that whenever they quote President Trump, I switch to his voice. Because I do a Trump impression, so I switch to his voice every time they do a quote from him. Anyway, in remarks made following the 2015 Paris attacks, and you gotta remember that these were made directly because of the Paris attacks, which nobody seems to get. We gotta think of the background and the catalyst for these statements. This was a reaction to the Paris attacks. This is President Trump's reaction to those attacks, okay? Trump stated that he would support a database for tracking Muslims in the United States and expanded surveillance of mosques. Trump's support for an American Muslim database drew sharp rebukes from his Republican presidential rivals and disbelief from legal experts. On December 7, 2015, in response to the 2015 San Bernardino attack, again, a direct reaction, so don't come at me, okay? This is a natural human reaction. When an attack like this happens, you go into a kind of conservation, kind of protectionist reaction where you want to protect and defend. It's a reaction that happens with all of us. And we kind of get scared by it, and then we go into our most primal instinct. So don't go calling President Trump racist in the comments, because if you do, I'll report you. Anyway, Trump further called for a temporary ban on any Muslims entering the country. He issued a written statement saying, Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on, which he repeated at subsequent political rallies. The next day, December 8, 2015, the Pentagon issued a statement of concern, saying Trump's remarks could strengthen the resolve of the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant. The Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, David Cameron, and the Prime Minister of France, Manuel Valls, both issued statements in response to Trump's press conference condemning him. Now, this is 2015. That's exactly why that the Prime Minister is David Cameron here, because it's 2015. Then we got May, and now the guy who I support, Boris Johnson, good guy. Following Trump's controversial statements on Muslim immigration, a petition was begun on the British Parliament's e-petition website, calling on the UK government's Home Secretary to ban him from, and that's impossible, from entering the country. That's impossible, okay? because not allowing him to enter is like an act against the United States. Not allowing the president to enter your country is basically like a thing where we say we hate America. Okay. And if they want to keep peace with the United States, you gotta let the president in when he needs to conduct his official business. Anyway, the bar implementing the country, the total number. Okay, I don't want to talk about this. Now, front runner. Trump had high poll numbers during the primaries. 40 with Bush. Trump was 17%. Bush at 14%. Okay. Oh, here we go. Poll taken August 13th to the 16th, 2015. The swing states of Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania showed Trump ahead of or narrowly trailing Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton in direct matchups in those states. In Florida, Trump led by 2 points, and in both Ohio and Pennsylvania, he was within 5 points of Clinton. Trump had persistently high popularity among Republican and leading Republican minority voters. Surveys taken in late 2015 showed Trump polling unfavorably among women and non-white voters, with 64% of women among viewing Trump unfavorably and 74% of non-white voters having a negative view of the candidate. According to the November 2015 ABC News/Washington Post poll, a Republic Religion Research Institution survey in November 2015 found that many of his supporters were working-class voters with negative feelings towards migrants as well as strong financial concerns. As you know, I am a Trump supporter. I think I mentioned that before. I was called a fake Trump supporter in one of my. I can't believe it, because usually I get slammed for being a racist or something, but I got slammed for being a fake supporter. Funny. First time I've ever been slammed for faking support, but I don't fake support. I fully support President Trump, and to show my support, I have a mega hat. Okay, I got a mega hat, but I do support him and all of his policies. So don't go tell me in the comments that I don't support him and I'm a fake Republican or whatever. I do support him. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna skip through here. Where was it? Presumptive. On May 3rd, Trump became the presumptive nominee of the Republican Party after his victory in Indiana and the withdrawal of the late competitors Ted Cruz and John Kasich from the race. Funnily enough, as I'm reading on this date, as of right now, well, it was last month, March, when President Trump became the presumptive Republican nominee for 2020. So yeah, I think that was last month. Yeah, last month when he became. Well, this is 2016. Some Republicans declined to support Trump's candidacy, including former rival Jeb Bush, who announced that he would not vote for Trump and Bush's father and brother. Former Presidents George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush, who announced that they would not endorse Trump. Paul Ryan announced that he was not ready to endorse Trump for the presidency. Funnily enough, how Ryan ended up becoming one of President Trump's biggest supporters in the end, but whatever. On May 26, Trump secured the 1,238 delegate, achieving a majority of the available delegates. Yes, 1,238. In June 2016, okay. What the hell was it? Hired. Kellyanne Conway. Okay, I'm trying to find where it says something about the Republican convention. Hold on, guys. Trump. Okay, he fired. Okay, well, anyway, he got the nomination in, I think, was it July 2016 at the convention. So yeah. Selection of running mate. From early to mid-July, various media outlets widely reported that Trump's shortlist for his pick as vice president and running mate had narrowed to Indiana Governor Mike Pence, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich. On July 15th, 2016, Trump officially announced via Twitter that he had chosen Pence to be his running mate. Trump introduced Pence as his running mate at a press conference the next day. Pence formally accepted the nomination on July 20th at the Republican National Convention. On October 27, 2016, Pence's Boeing 737-700 airplane flash-tailed off the runway at LaGuardia Airport in New York during landing. There were no injuries reported among those on board, which included members of the press. In the back of the plane, as a result of the accident, Pence canceled a campaign event that night, though said on Twitter that he would be back campaigning the next day, October 28th. Shit. Presidential debates. Okay. So it took place on Monday evening, September 26th, at New York's Hofstra University with Lester Holt of NBC. Of course, he basically. I watched the debates, not when they happened, but later on after he won, and I was laughing because he made Clinton look such a fool. She's already a fool, but he made a complete mockery out of her. It was hilarious. They think that she won the debates. Actually, he won the debates, and by a large margin. So that's all on the debates. Each debate he won. So we got first one took place September 26th with Holt. See viewers thought Hillary Clinton performed better than Donald Trump. That's wrong. The second debate was held on Sunday, October 8th at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri. Of course, CNN's Anderson Cooper and ABC News' Martha Rodez. Anyway, I don't have a problem with ABC. The fact that they chose CNN, and I think they did it specifically to try to fuck Trump over, but they failed. And they selected CNN because they knew that CNN was crooked. Just like Clinton. Crooked Hillary. Endorsements, talk about results. So we talked about the primaries announcement. Here are the results. So, let's go. Let me just move my drink to the side there. As the results came in on election night, November 8th, 2016, Trump won in multiple states that had been predicted to go to Clinton. In the early morning hours on November 9th, media sources declared Trump the winner of the presidency, crediting him with 279 electoral college votes, where 270 were needed to win. Clinton then phoned Trump to concede and to congratulate him on his victory, whereupon Trump gave a victory speech. His victory was widely described as a stunning upset, since most pre-election polling had predicted a Clinton win. Trump's share of the electoral vote was 56.9 in a ranking. As of November 28th, Trump is credited with 306 electoral votes compared to 232 for Clinton. We got post-election, and that's about it. So, that's the timeline of how he won. He announced, people liked him, then he won the primary, then he got more support, and eventually overtook Clinton. I actually started to support President Trump either September 2016 or June 2016. No, I think it was September. Yeah, it was, because by November I was a Trump supporter. Okay, I was 13 at the time, and I was a Trump supporter. I even woke up at 6-something a.m. to check the results, because I went to sleep before the results came in at 2. I thought the results came in at 6, but they came in at 2. And I remember feeling so happy and so relieved that he won. I was like, yes. I went to sleep, woke up around 8 o'clock, and while I was getting ready to go to school, I was watching on my first phone, the one with the bad camera, the J3, I was watching the victory speech. So, I've been supporting President Trump since before he won, okay? I hate the liberals. I absolutely despise them. Anyway, here's the victory speech. And by the way, I'm announcing right now that I'm starting a brand new series called News. News is where I tell you guys about the latest news that's happening in the world. Most likely I will start this somewhere later tonight, as I have to charge my phone. But I will be most likely later tonight, maybe midnight, maybe even tomorrow, I'll be reporting on the news and some pretty interesting stuff and some pretty yeah. I'm gonna maybe put it to like 18. Yeah, 18. I'm gonna grab my drink. But here's the victory speech, okay? So I'm gonna just stop talking for now. And you guys are not gonna see me.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated. Thank you very much. I've just received a call from Secretary Clinton. She congratulated us, it's about us, on our victory. And I congratulated her and her family on a very, very hard-fought campaign. I mean, she fought very hard. Hillary has worked very long and very hard over a long period of time. And we owe her a major debt of gratitude for her service to our country. I mean that very sincerely. Now it's time for America to bind the wounds of division, have to get together. To all Republicans and Democrats and independents across this nation, I say it is time for us to come together as one united people. It's time. I pledge to every citizen of our land that I will be president for all Americans, and this is so important to me. For those who have chosen not to support me in the past, of which there were a few people, I'm reaching out to you for your guidance and your help so that we can work together and unify our great country. As I've said from the beginning, ours was not a campaign, but rather an incredible and great movement made up of millions of hardworking men and women who love their country and want a better, brighter future.
Oh, for God's sake.
For themselves and for their family.
Start on the fucking controller.
It's a movement comprised of Americans from all races, religions, backgrounds, and beliefs who want and expect our government to serve the people, and serve the people it will. Working together, we will begin the urgent task of rebuilding our nation and renewing the American dream. I've spent my entire life in business looking at the untapped potential in projects and in people all over the world. That is now what I want to do for our country. Tremendous potential. I've gotten to know our country so well. Tremendous potential. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Every single American will have the opportunity to realize his or her fullest potential. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. We are going to fix our inner cities and rebuild our highways, bridges, tunnels, airports, schools, hospitals. We're going to rebuild our infrastructure, which will become, by the way, second to none. And we will put millions of our people to work as we rebuild it. We will also finally take care of our great veterans. We've been so loyal, and I've gotten to know so many over this 18-month journey. The time I've spent with them during this campaign has been among my greatest honors. Our veterans are incredible people. We will embark upon a project of national growth and renewal. I will harness the creative talents of our people, and we will call upon the best and brightest to leverage their tremendous talent for the benefit of all. It's going to happen. We have a great economic plan. We will double our growth and have the strongest economy anywhere in the world. At the same time, we will get along with all other nations willing to get along with us. We will be. We'll have great relationships. We expect to have great relationships. No dream is too big, no challenge is too great. Nothing we want for our future is beyond our reach. America will no longer settle for anything less than the best.
Oh, God.
Fit of all. It's going to happen. We have a great economic plan. We will double our growth and have the strongest economy anywhere in the world. At the same time, we will get along with all
Some
other
of you guys are
nations
seeing the same
willing
thing
to
twice.
get along
I
with
keep
us.
sitting on my... See what it keeps doing?
We will be.
See what it keeps
We'll
doing?
have great relationships.
My front
We expect
controller.
to have great relationships. No dream is too big, no challenge is too great. Nothing we want for our future. Reclaim our country's destiny and dream big and bold and daring. We have to do that. We're going to dream of things for our
I
country
apologize for
and beautiful
for
things
sitting on the
and
controller.
successful things once again. I want to tell the world community that while we will always put America's interests first, we will deal fairly with everyone, all people and all other nations. We will seek common ground, not hostility, partnership, not conflict. And now, I'd like to take this moment to thank some of the people who really helped me with this, what they are calling tonight, very, very historic victory. First, I want to thank my parents. They're special people, and it's really an honor. We have 22 congressional. You will say, so many of you worked so hard for us, but you will say that that was something that you were very proud to do, and I can thank you very much.
Sorry, but the thing is...
And I can only say...
Thing is, I skipped it because he's thanking people. So I showed what he planned to do for America. And I skipped through all of his thank yous, thanking people. And now back to his policies and back to his politics.
That while the campaign is over, our work on this movement is now really just beginning. We're going to get to work immediately for the American people. And we're going to be doing a job that hopefully you'll be so proud of your president. You'll be so proud. Again, it's my honor. It was an amazing evening. It's been an amazing 2-year period. And I love this country. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you to Mike Pence. Thank you, everybody.
So that's the victory speech. And then later on, I'll start my series in which I go over the latest breaking news. So I'm going to be picking specific news stories to cover, such as the coronavirus briefings and everything else. And every, let's say, Saturday or Friday, I'll be picking from specific latest events latest breaking news stories and telling you guys. So this was the video I promised. So basically, so bye guys.